Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just being honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it was like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift, the man with the gift here to uplift, always on time and never switching shifts. We are back again, another week, another adventure. Some more reviews, some more good music. We'll see where that ends up. But with me as always, today and forevermore, the web slinger himself, Mr. Webb.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. And you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. You put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. What's up?
That never gets old.
I love that quote.
That's so good.
And I've been hearing, I kept coming across a bunch of videos this week.
Bruce Lee video?
With that quote coming
with the
in.
quote,
Or with,
okay.
like,
Gotcha.
or a bunch of hip hop mixes like that. Oh, especially that lo-fi.
Oh, where it just puts
hip-hop
the speeches
playlist.
in. Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
put
yeah.
the speech in.
Yeah.
I even found out that apparently there's this video series called Trapping in Japan.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
It is.
Okay.
It is
Nice.
very awesome.
Very nice.
I have to play it, or I have to show it to you when I get a chance.
Absolutely.
So
That's what's up.
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. Chilling. Can't complain. Another week of work, all that kind of stuff. I feel like there's shit all over his table, and it usually bugs me, so I try to like move everything except for Mario.
I put an overlay
The iPad's
on
fine.
there, so we're
Yeah,
good.
that's what I was thinking. But I always like track because the Mario is the main thing. But week's been good. I had a couple of jobs, got a new toy in as far as like for my camera stuff, which is awesome. It's called the Ronin S. It's DJI's new like single-handed gimbal. I have to show it to you before you leave. But basically what it is just like where you can, it perfectly balances, has like 3 electronic motors on it. Mm-hmm. Perfectly balances the camera. So if you want to like be hanging out the side of a car, if you want to be like dead sprinting after somebody, it takes out all the shakes. So it's perfectly smoothed out. And you can do other cool stuff with it because you can control it or like basically set up certain moves, or like if you want to do like a time lapse, you can make it like pan and tilt and like go through like a whole like motion system while it's like doing a time lapse. Or if you want to do it for video, you want it to like track like a certain, whether it's a actor or a vehicle or whatever, you can like set up the exact moves and then cue your actors, and then it'll do it autonomously, like without you having to worry about it. So it's pretty awesome. Other than that, I've been chilling out, playing some games. What am I on now? I've been just basically trying to kill time until Spider-Man as much as I possibly can.
So
2
weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Technically less than 2 weeks now, I guess, because it's the Friday after next. I can't fucking wait. Like, oh my God. But since then, been kind of going back. Divinity Original Sin's finally about to come out. So me and Brent are like kind of starting that out. That's going to be like probably a 60-hour plus trek RPG. Like I said last week, I got Mirror's Edge Catalyst, been playing that. I got, what was it? I went back to Just Cause 3, which is always fun, dumb, crazy, over-the-top shit. But other than that, started watching Disenchantment. Yeah, started watching that.
So did I.
It was funny at first. I was like, okay. I'm definitely down for another Futurama style show.
Fantasy Futurama.
Yeah, because I've always been a big fan of. I've always been more of a fan of Futurama than The Simpsons. Honestly, personally,
I can see that.
and even at first, obviously, it wasn't the same. But then over time, like Family Guy kind of fell to the wayside, and I was still like watching. I still felt the desire to watch Futurama. So when I found out it was one, not only from the creators of Futurama, and then also from 2 of the producers who produced like the first, I think 5 or 6 seasons of The Simpsons. So it's like the fucking varsity squad of producers.
Oh, the alumni.
Yeah, exactly. So after seeing that, I kind of put it off for a little while because I saw when it first popped up. I was like, okay, cool. But then when I started watching it, I was like, okay, I'm totally down with the way it's paced, the way the jokes are paced, the fact that oh my gosh, what's her name? Damn it. And I was just thinking about it too. From Broad City plays the main character.
Oh, one of them?
Yeah.
Glazer?
Not her, the other one.
Oh.
The one that was, I mean, they both were always smoking, but the one that had the one episode where she got her teeth pulled and she was hanging out with that big stuffed animal thing.
Oh,
have you seen Broad City?
I've seen bits and pieces.
You might have seen that one. That's like a fucking like one of the.
Not Brief City.
Yeah, Brief City.
Broad City. There we go. And the cast. Let me check. It is one of the two mains.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's not a lot. It's not.
It's not Glazer.
Yeah, it's not Glazer. It's
Abby.
Abby. Yeah.
Jacobson.
Yeah, Abby Jacobson plays the main character. Which it was funny when I watched the first episode. I was like, man, she sounds familiar. I was like, what other cartoon is she from? And I watched to season 2, and then to the second episode, and then the beginning, the third episode, it was bugging me. So I looked at him. I was like, get the fuck. I was like, holy shit. I was like, duh. So now I just can't. It's literally exactly the same. And then having Eric Andre as the demon,
right, is
great. And then I forgot the guy's name that plays Elfo, but he's a big, he's been around for years. You've probably either seen him or heard him,
right? At
least at one point or another, because he's been doing comedies for as long as I can remember. But love Eric Andre as the demon. He's really good. It's funny because when you look at, because I remember seeing this in Futurama, and this is on an animation level type thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where obviously it's a normal, I guess, hand-drawn, almost hand-drawn 3-dimensional animation type, where it's flat, but it pops.
Yeah.
But then they'll do sweeping camera moves that it really comes out and starts to show off. They're oh, okay, this is a new fucking show. They're showing off new technology here.
Yeah.
So it looks really good. I think it's really well written. I think it's funny. There were definitely some times where I'm laughing, haha, out loud, fucking laughing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good so far, and I'm enjoying it. So hopefully they keep that going. I think they will, honestly.
How far are you on part 1?
See, I'm episode. She just saved Lucy back from that the Exorcist guy.
Okay,
you're ahead.
I think you're further than that.
Okay, so, all right. Yeah, they try to get rid of him.
Okay, funny. The last one. Yeah, the last episode that I remember hanging on, or before I turned it off to go do something that I'll talk about later, was the pig's blood.
Okay, so, yeah, you're right before it then. Yeah, it's that next episode.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, it's that next episode.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But it's really funny. If you liked Futurama or even The Simpsons, any of those, I think you'll enjoy this show. It's funny. I like it. So I definitely will keep watching that. I'm trying to think of anything else I started watching. My girlfriend started watching that Insatiable show, the one that caught all that controversy at first. For it's the one that's starring, I forgot her name. Well, she used to be one of those Disney Channel stars, but it's she was fat, and then she got into a fight or something, and her jaw got wired shut, so she couldn't eat. So then she got skinny. So now she's dealing with all the stuff of being.
Is this the actual? Oh, okay. So that's the premise.
Yeah, and that's what got everybody in an uproar initially. Is they were like, oh, it's making it seem like the fact that her
fat shaming.
Yeah, that the fact that she's not fat anymore, it's better.
Okay, so
but it's not really doing that. It's just it's kind of. I don't know. It's,
sure. I mean,
it's okay. It's fine. It's like if you took one of those classic Disney shows, but you were like, oh, this isn't going to be on Disney anymore. This is going to be on HBO.
So this is less Mean Girls.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, there's obviously some inspiration in there of that, because even Mean Girls for the time was mature. But this is they can do whatever the fuck they want to, pretty much, because it's on Netflix, so they can cuss and fucking talk about fucking and all this other crazy shit. So they can do all kinds of stuff. They pretty much have free reign. That just made me
think. I don't know why. Or damn it. Here, I just started thinking of Donald Glover on his comedy special, and he's going when he was talking about it's like dicks, instead of just swinging around. Yeah. As far as the way you said, they can talk about whatever the fuck they want, and they just spend 45 minutes just saying dicks.
Like the whole episode, just one episode. That's all they say. All the dialogues replaced.
Oh man.
But there's a bunch of like goofy stuff. It's okay. It's there's some moments it's funny, but it's like you can tell it just has that like kind of corny Disney Channel kind of tinge to it sometimes. But then somebody gets cussed out and somebody's fucking, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. You're like, okay. You're like, all right, well, that works. I guess this isn't on network, on a syndicated television like the rest. But yeah, other than that, same old shit. Can't complain too much. What's been going on with you, brother?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Word.
Got my sunglasses on.
Yep.
Would you, as far as my demeanor, would you be surprised if I'm hungover?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because I've seen you like hungover before. But this is more like, let's do this.
Well, I've had 2 mornings in a row this weekend where I've been hungover.
Okay, nice.
L8 came through.
Ooh, nice.
L8 came through this morning. So I'm actually good right now. I think it's more the lights that I got this going on because I'm facing directly. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, you got one.
The way I'm positioned.
We've got one directly, to our right, and then also if you like glance too hard at me, there's like one behind me that might try to attack you too. So it's kind of
so. Before I get into the reason why why I was hungover last night,
right?
Or all this week, I've been working on myself.
Nice.
Without sounding new agey.
Okay, right. Yeah.
I've been working on meditating and working on these things called affirmations or positive affirmations.
Very nice.
And I was actually looking at some meditation beads.
Okay.
Because like that's what if you sit there and do a mantra or affirmation, it helps your subconscious like pick up on it because you're repeating it constantly.
Yeah.
And after a while, your subconscious is going to pick up on it and do the work for you.
Yeah.
That's how you help it. That helps with habits.
Nice.
And I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like looking at those beads, and I was like, wait a minute. That kind of looks familiar. Mm-hmm. And then I looked in my closet.
You guys remember?
Kinda. Tell me if you remember these.
Oh, is he?
Goodwood chains.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's awesome. And that's the stoop one, too. That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, back in the day, I don't know if anybody's listening to this, if you remember, like, when the Goodwood, like, chain thing, like, blew up and, like, everybody
that was a
had them.
fad.
Yeah, it was. It was. I wish it was more of like a thing that held on because one, it's cheaper.
A bit, yeah.
than a big diamond encrusted pair of steps. So, but I always liked the designs and the fact that you could do like, it was just basically like your kind of arts and crafts like wood.
Yeah, like piece. You could have did this in high school or something
you could do
like
that. Like you could color them however you wanted to. It's the same thing, almost as in the same vein as like those beaded animals we used to make in high school, if you remember those.
Or
the keychains.
Or those
the twisty things.
The shoelace things.
Yeah. Folded over. Yeah. Man, I remember people used to make bread off those things.
Right.
But I always liked all those like kind of creative things. So to see something like this that people were wearing now, that was just because I mean there were all different kind of like cool designs. I guess the most classic one was the ones obviously we saw around here, of like the one that's like the 287 steps that you have on now.
Yeah.
And then there was the there's obviously like the Africa shaped one with like the colors on it and stuff. There's different ones.
I would have.
Yeah, which I feel like that one kind of
would have more.
And I've seen that one last past it. Like you see those kind of still, even like not even in the wood versions. I've seen like leather ones and stuff. They're just like a black leather.
I used to have a leather one back when I used to love going to the Roots and Heritage Festival.
Yep, absolutely.
I wonder where I put that now. I may need another one, honestly.
So the mantra beads are similar to the Goodwood beads,
in a sense.
Okay,
or at least enough for me to save $8.
Right. That works.
So now I'm just gonna be meditating and awesome. Every morning and evening before bed. Brush my teeth, sit down, meditate, and just do my affirmation just like this. Whatever it is I'm saying, until I get to the end. And if I reach my time limit, go backwards. And have it, work out that way.
What is it? What's the habit thing? Is it 2 weeks to break a habit or 2 weeks to create a habit? I've
heard 21 days. I've heard 67 days.
Okay, that's a lot more.
It's kind of all over the place a little bit.
Okay.
It depends entirely on the person too.
Right.
So just kind of ballpark it. Like 21, 67 just keep doing it and keep doing it until I have it.
So it's stuck. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, makes sense.
Also, what I've been working on, I started this since Wednesday. I just messed up a little bit earlier in the episode.
Okay.
But starting Wednesday, I noticed that a lot of times I've been talking negatively, and usually it's towards myself.
Okay.
And so all this week, or all since Wednesday, I've had a little challenge for myself, and I removed the words no and not from my vocab, and try to communicate without those words.
Okay.
It is difficult as hell.
Really? It seems hard.
Because you are, it's like the words no, not, and any iteration of not, which means can't, won't, shouldn't, didn't.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
all
true.
of that.
That's true, yeah.
All of that. And so I keep it's funny. I almost feel like I'm like pleading, like I'm at a press conference trying to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
With certain words. And
I could not confirm or deny.
It's like, and I still messed up. Yeah.
Right, it's still different.
And it's like, to the best of my knowledge, that I am unaware of. Or it's like, or it's like, instead of saying I didn't know that, it was like, oh, that's new to me. Or just try to find, try to find things instead of saying what I quote unquote can't do, what can I do? What can happen from this?
Right.
What will I do?
Right.
What should I do?
Yeah.
And just kind of work and try to work my way that way.
Yeah.
And it makes me a lot more conscious and in the present moment, which was something I had trouble doing. Meditation and paying attention to the no and not is also helping out too.
Yeah.
And as far as like trying to get that clutter out of my head when I'm meditating, just focus on breathing. Oh, but hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Breathe. Yeah.
Because it becomes some kind of weird level of comfort to think about 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
Because it becomes normal. It's almost the same time, like sometimes when you just like, if you're like relaxing, if like you're kind of like just either staring at something and your eyes almost cross, like that almost feels more comfortable than like holding your eyes normal sometimes. It's like a weird, like off kilter thing. But that's, because there's always those moments where you're like thinking about, and sometimes it's in a way, like I said, it becomes a normal when you like have that moment where like at the end of the day, maybe if you like when you first lay down, you're like sitting there thinking about like trying to break down like, okay, what I need to do, what I want to do, that kind of thing, and then it just goes like either it snowballs or you try to get it together. So that's always a thing. I've always tried to do that, at least on the staying positive side when it came to music related stuff as of late, which I think is one of the things that helped me get that project done. It's like on the music side of it, is that I was constantly like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off or whatever. But I'm like, just do it. I was like, just fucking do it, because one, it helps relax you when you are doing it.
Yeah.
So it's meditative in that respect already. But then if you don't do it, then it's gonna bother you if you hadn't done it.
Right.
So then you keep like, okay, I need to do it. Or you can just fucking do it. And now I'm already thinking about next, like going from there, like next step. So, that is interesting, because you can get caught in those, in the repetition, not the positive repetition, but in the repetition of like just being almost overwhelmed, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that.
Nice.
So the reason why I'm hungover. All right. So
what you got?
Okay, I was at B-Dub's Friday
Nice.
with the fellas, and without NFL draft, which I noticed there was a whole bunch of people that were there specifically for drafts.
Makes sense.
So that was funny, just watching other people do it, and it was kind of going like,
yeah.
I'm abstaining from this season.
Yeah, that's what
just
I did the same thing.
in light of how the NFL is just, for lack of better words, fucking up.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
So,
because I did the same thing. I was kind of like, I don't feel like
yeah, it's like fuck the NFL at this point in time for now.
All right.
Birthday party. There was a birthday party last night.
Nice.
And I had Remy Martin for the first time in a long while.
Ooh, man.
And also shots and beer
Yep.
and
Cheeseburger.
dancing.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I had
Shake the liquor out.
I had 2 balloon incidents before I went to dance.
Okay.
I think they were made of helium.
Okay.
I was sat up in my chair, or I was in my chair, and I reached over to grab something.
Yeah.
And then I felt something hit my shoulder, and I was like, "Oh, somebody's trying to say hi to me." I turned around, and there was a balloon just right in my face, and it just lingered for a little while, but then it just went up,
Okay.
and then it just
had to be
started,
helium.
and then it and then it just started floating across the table a little bit.
Was it
and
red?
It was yellow.
Okay. Ooh, Jesus.
And luckily, it was going across me, and luckily, someone else had saw it and said they tapped it out the way. I was like, "Oh, thank God, somebody else sees it."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Kevin says like, "Oh, Pennywise was after you for a second there." I thought, yeah,
That's
I was
funny.
like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, you just see it like float. Like, dude, please tell somebody else sees this balloon. Like, goddamn.
Second balloon incident. I'm going to the bathroom. I had a few drinks in me. I'm feeling giddy.
Yeah.
I kick a balloon that was on the floor.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, I decided to kick it again. Almost hit this white woman in the face.
With the balloon or with your
With
foot?
the balloon.
Okay. You just missed a balloon. And like,
Either incident.
you just missed a balloon and Charlie Brown kicked somebody in the face. Fucking bicycle kicked somebody in the face.
I was like, "Oh, I am so sorry."
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom and
That's funny. That's hilarious.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not often you get in 2 balloon incidents in one night.
Right. I got sweaty
Really?
that night. I was moving and shaking, or major pain. I've been known to cut a little rug in my day.
Yeah.
Yo,
I can't remember the last time I've had fucking Remy Martin. Jesus Christ. Is that a brandy? What
it's
is that?
cognac.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, and the trinity of line dances,
Okay.
cha-cha slide.
Nailed it.
I sat down for that one.
You're like, I'm sick of this shit.
The one before that, hold on, the holy trinity of line dances. There's cha-cha slide.
Yep.
Cupid shuffle.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just had it. Cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle,
Electric
and
slide. Electric slide.
electric slide kind of works, yeah. I mean, it's kind of... What is the other one?
Cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle.
Electric slide and... Damn.
I can't think of anything.
Fuck, it must have been electric slide.
Something electric
but there's a
slide.
stepbrother or a stepchild to the line dances.
Okay.
I think it's called the biker step.
I was about to say the biker shuffle coming.
Biker shuffle,
Brent,
okay.
Brent would definitely bring that up. Biker shuffle, and then there's other ones too. But I know the biker shuffle is like the newest add into that.
Newest.
Yeah, and we say new with fucking big quotation marks.
Yeah.
The-
It's big with the older folks.
yeah, exactly. That's the kind of newest add into the
Yeah.
Which
Then
probably
move it to your right,
Yeah.
and bring it on up. Hey, bring it on up.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
move it to the left.
It's
and
a-
bring it on back. Hey, bring it on back.
it's a
Hey,
drunk
kick,
uncle
baby,
dance
kick,
if I ever seen
baby,
one in my
kick.
life, man.
Yeah, it's such, and I keep forgetting how to do the biker shuffle
Yeah,
every time it comes on.
but it's like the easiest one. I feel like.
It can be,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it depends on the moving on up and bringing on back parts.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but
because
yeah,
it depends
that's
on how
true.
much room you have.
Yeah, no,
And how, you kind of have to,
And how-
you got to have, make sure your knees are bent a little bit so you can sit there and
you got to kick.
You got to
twice.
make sure.
Yeah, you got to do some rapid, some quick back to back kicks there.
You need some quick feet for the biker
That's
shuffle.
why it's better if you have an all linen, like one colored outfit on.
Man, that's pretty much that whole night.
Like
I,
somebody's
as
uncle.
me dancing with them old folks,
Yeah.
and doing all those shuffles and all that other stuff.
Right.
I already envision I'm gonna have a linen suit
yeah.
and just be at the Roots and Heritage Festival
Maybe.
with a damn straw hat to
I
match
was
the
about to
same
say,
color,
I was about to say, maybe a hat, cigar, maybe something like
gaiters,
that. Oh yeah, yeah,
all that.
Or
And I
those
was
cookout
like, well,
shoes,
it's
or
like,
those cookout shoes and
yeah.
cookout sandals.
I was like, fuck, this is my life now.
Yeah, I mean we're
Getting there.
We're knocking on that door.
Getting there.
Oh man, that makes me think of a random story. I don't know if you've seen that big. Like I've got that light, like I call it my Cuban hat. That like it's like light, like cream color with like a black band, like the big. Brown.
Oh, the one that you wore on that episode where we went to Shayna's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we called you Lou Bega, or
Yeah,
what the hell
yeah.
did we do?
Yeah. We did. Yeah, we talked about the Lou Bega thing. But yeah, I remember it was funny. I wore that to a wedding because it was like hot. So I wore that to a wedding I was shooting, like in Pittsburgh. So like I was talking to like some of the guys there, and he was like, they were like, yeah, they was like, it's nice, it was like cool. It was like, where are you from? I was like, yeah, I come up from
From the Dominican Republic.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. I was like, I come up from Lexington. He was like, oh, that explains the hat, and I was like, and then that was like where the conversation. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I just went on shooting. I never talked to that guy again that night.
Oh,
But I was like, what did that?
I was hoping for the follow up.
No, there was nothing else. That's what made it even funnier / more awkward. But it was like he didn't say it in like a like he was like disparaging about it. He was like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense. The hat." I'm like,
Huh?
"What the fuck?" Oh, I guess.
How does that hat?
I don't know. I don't know if he was like equating it to like the Amish hat and he was thinking country, or like he was thinking like a regular straw hat and he was thinking country. I feel like it was like a country thing is what he was trying to equate to.
On the topic of fads again and hats,
Right.
You remember those Chinese hats?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they were kind of like, oh man, those were great for the summer.
The ones you could hang around your neck.
You could hang around
Oh,
your
yeah.
neck, or you sit there and just put around and just like cover your face.
Yeah.
And that shit was was dope in the summer.
Speaking of which, it looks like we're gonna get one of the best uses of that hat since Raiden from Mortal Kombat in that new
Did you
Sekiro.
Raiden?
Raiden. Did I say Raiden?
You said Raiden.
Oh, Raiden.
Were you thinking of Metal Gear?
No, yeah, I think I was. No, that's not what I meant. No, have you seen that new? It looks like if you took Tenchu and smashed it with Dark Souls. Sekiro Die Twice or something like that. It comes out in March. It's from
I'll
the
have to
same.
look for it.
It looks awesome. I mean, it's it's an old school like Tenchu game, like badass, like super difficult. Like you can like fucking grapple to rooftops and stuff. But he has one of those hats. But like when he like can take it off in its normal size, and then he like does like that, and it gets huge. And he like blocks with it, and then he rolls it back in, and then puts it back on, and then he comes back with his blade.
I see. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I see what you mean.
So it's like almost like if you took the hat and it
It's like
became like one of those
retractable.
fans, except when he rolls it, it gets bigger.
Okay.
And like unnecessarily so, and he blocks stuff, and then he can roll it back in, and he puts it back on, and he comes with the sword again.
Huh.
It's badass. The game looks awesome. It comes out in March, but I was like, that's the first time I've seen one of those hats like as a prominent gameplay thing.
Yeah, it was a
forever.
mechanic, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember those hats. Those were yeah, like you said, those were fucking nice. Those used to be like the theme park go to in
Yeah.
the summertime.
Only lasted what, 2 summers? That was only a big deal for like. I just remember the
feel like-
one.
Yeah, I'd say 1 or 2, because I remember distinctly like having like throwback jerseys on with those.
Yeah.
And then they started coming out with the ones that like the brim was like a certain color so it could match whatever you had on.
Yeah.
So there was like blue, green, like just basic ass colors.
Yeah. You could fold them some bitches too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Golly, what other fads y'all remember that were dope at the time, but looking back on it, it was like, well, looking back,
I'm trying to think what
that would, looking back,
there was some random. I mean,
probably would say that was kind of smart rather than dumb.
No, it wasn't dumb. I don't think it just was there.
Yeah, it was just it was such a fad. In a sense, I guess kind of similar to Asian things. I can't wait for this DLC for Absolver next month.
Oh yeah.
And I'm getting close to level 200 on combat trials, and
Jesus Christ.
I'm actually now I'm actually like adding people that are whooping my ass.
Yeah.
And so I have like some people that are Emerald, which is the highest rating you can have on there.
Yeah, like top level.
And I had my first sparring session with one,
Okay.
and I forgot that he was an Emerald
to
until it showed the face off, and I was like, oh, that's right, son of a
You're
bitch.
like, fuck. All right. Well, I guess.
And got washed.
Really?
I got really close to beating him to getting a round from him.
Yeah.
No such luck.
Ooh.
Or rather, damn, I messed up again. But
Didn't work out.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
negative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll let you use those words.
Yeah, that works.
And so he gave me a little bit of advice on what I needed to work on, or what exploits
Yeah.
that he found to
Right.
whoop my ass as well as he did.
Yeah.
If I keep it up, I may start jumping into some of these tournaments that I keep seeing or keep watching.
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I've always enjoyed. Like I like watching. It's like a lot of people say. I like watching 2D fighters more than I like playing them. Mm-hmm. I'm more into playing 3D fighters. Now, of course, the only real big exception to that is Smash Brothers, which people obviously argue about that. It's a fucking fighting game. But I'm always more keen to try to put the time into something more like this. And the awesome thing, it seems like, is that there's this perfect size community that it's not like insane, but it's also not like crazy small where the game's going to get like shut down. It's still big enough for support, but it's also big enough that like you can have situations like that where you can go into a fight, get whooped by somebody, but then they're like, all right, here's what's up.
Yeah.
Like, here's how you can get better. That's good. Like, that's good FGC level like stuff.
Yeah.
And there's obviously like bad level, but that seems to be in that perfect sweet spot where it's like, we're the Absolver guys. We're just quietly over here. You guys on fucking like Blaze Blue and Street Fighter and stuff, you guys can go there.
Yeah.
We're fine over here. We can do this over here.
I am glad to see that I'm actually improving in that game.
Right.
And it was funny because I'm just now remembering this. There was an incident where this person, I love it when people try to be edgy in the game. Yeah. Like you can, like a PvP, one-on-one, 1v1. Yeah. And it's like 3, 2, 1 fight. Yeah. And I always, unless it's a slip of the button, bow. Yeah. Before the fight. Right. The better fighters. Yeah. Or the people that typically the better fighters will return, or we'll both bow at the exact same time, or we had it right where
yeah, exactly.
Some of the folks want to be edgy and sit there just do a little slow walk to you. Okay, yeah. And so we got a badass over here. And I love whooping them. Yeah. I love beating those. Yeah. There was one where they stood still. Yeah. And then I bowed. And then they started a slow walk to me. And I was like, ooh, look at you. And I sit there and I was like, I felt a certain way. So I bowed again, waiting for him to return it. Yeah. He kept walking. I was like, all right, then fine. Right, yeah. Beat him 3-0.
Nice.
3-0. Yeah. We did a rematch. He was quick on that rematch button. I was like, somebody's salty. Yeah, somebody's salty. Yeah, yeah. And so we started again. And I was like, all right, he should be humbled now. Right. So I went and bowed. Yeah. This nigga ran at me.
Oh, that's good.
He ran at me and hit me. I was like,
that's good.
Okay. Washed him for 2 rounds. Yeah. And then he left. He rage quit on the 3rd round. So technically I still won. Yeah. But as far as getting all the points for that win, I was like,
that's funny.
It worked out. Yeah, and then the second opponent did the exact same damn thing happen. I bowed. They sit there and they did the no emote, like the no. Oh, I was like, oh,
that's funny.
Let's go.
Right, yeah.
Whooped his ass 3-0. Yeah. And I bowed at the very end. You know, like you can still emote. Like some people, I've had it happen where they'll whoop my ass and somebody will do a laughing emote, and I was like, oh, okay, nigga, rematch.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But I bowed each time. Like each time this person was going, it was like I sit there and bowed. He sit there and tried to run at me, and I was like, nope, dodge. Yeah. And then each round I beat him as I sit there and bowed, and they kept trying to run at me, and I was like, dodge, jumped. I was like, and just whoop him. And then at the very last one, 3rd round, kicked him. He spun around, disappeared, and I just went right where victory sit there and showed up on my and he left.
I was like, see, I love that because that kind of plays into the classic old school like martial arts as far as like on film like kind of things, like where you have like there's the noble guys and then there's like the guys that like are gonna there's those kind of characters that you go through. I always think about like the like in Ip Man when they did the table battle thing. Like how like he was like bowing it every time, and then that one when he bowed, the king dude like jumped back and like kicked at him, and like he had to block real quick. So like I like that where you have those different characters. It's just like
it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
The personalities you come across. With
absolutely,
fighting.
Yeah. It's especially in a video game like where you can't really see that person, but they can like still.
And also, doing mantras and stuff has helped me out as far as getting frustrated with the game. And it's like, well, each time I get my ass whooped, I'm learning something. Yeah. So I'm just learning to be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, I doubt they could whoop me in real life. So
Right.
that's my one takeaway
Right,
if they whoop me really bad.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah.
That's funny.
Who used to say this? Like, you can't whoop me though.
Yeah.
Who used to say that?
Oh man, there's
I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I forgot. Back at that party,
Yeah.
I was talking about. Apparently, you can do the shoot dance to blow the whistle by Too Short. I was lacking dreads,
huh.
so getting hyphy was out the question.
I was trying to think of the beat in my
Boom,
head.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
boom.
okay, that
And
makes
then, like,
sense.
right when the chorus came out, I stood there, looked at Kevin, and I stood there, was like this, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then we said, "Blow the whistle." Beep, beep, beep. And I was like,
That's
"Hey, that
actually
worked
perfect.
out." I was like, "Hey,
That's good.
That was funny." And then another person joined in. I was like, "Hey, look at us!" It's like
That's awesome.
it's like doing new dances to older shit.
Old songs, yeah.
Yeah, like the older folks are sitting there just kind of.
I'll take.
Oh,
that.
it's like, what is that? It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey.
well, that's an old dance now,
Yeah. Right.
technically.
You gotta do that. You gotta do the floss dance or something.
You ever heard of World Long Drive?
World long drop?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm at the gym, and they, for some reason, the big TV is on Golf Channel instead of ESPN.
Nice.
And there was this tournament going on that I was watching, like when I work out. It was like the World Long Drive tournament. It's basically like a golf equivalent to like a home run derby.
That's awesome.
Or a 3-point contest.
Yeah.
You just
blast
hit the
them.
ball
Yeah.
as far as you can.
That's awesome.
Whoever has the highest score, you get 8 tries. Whoever has the high or furthest wins.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
See,
And
I like shit like that, like in like golf, like different stuff getting injected into golf, because golf's pretty like cut and dry, pretty rigid. So like when they try to do like different stuff like that, like I enjoy it. Like the whole thing, rumor now is that there's going to be a one-on-one match between Phil and Tiger that they're trying to get ironed out, which I thought that would be badass.
Was it like a charity thing or?
Well, no, I think the pot is actually going to be, most of the pot's going to go to one of them. But it's basically going to be set up like almost like a boxing match.
Yeah, because they're hurting for money.
Right, yeah, exactly. Basically like set it up like a boxing match almost, where you have like this just fucking head to head, like them going at each other. Which I think stuff like that could be cool to like help kind of boost and bolster golf up a little bit. But yeah, I like the idea of just like a Top Golf on TV. They're just blasting off. That's freaking awesome. I love that. That's freaking great.
Okay. So
nice.
we've been bullshitting for about 30 some odd minutes. Let
How we do it.
me bring this article up before we get to the good shit with the review.
Yep.
And have you had a chance to listen or to read this article about Michael Jackson's song supposedly being fake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For those unaware, there was legal battle continues over whether posthumously released Michael Jackson songs were really by the late star. And so I came across this at first where Twitter, well, yeah, for the very few minutes that I've been on Twitter this week,
Right.
folks were kind of just running with it's like Mark Twain said, the lie will be around the world twice while the truth still puts its shoes on.
That makes sense.
And people were sitting there just going off about Sony releasing or having 3 songs. One was called Monster. The other was called, wait, where'd it go? Move this out the way. Monster. Goddamn. Keep Your Head Up and Breaking News, where it was implied that there was an impersonator singing those songs rather than actually Michael Jackson.
Okay.
The songs were said to have been recorded by the singer the year before his death. Michael, the first posthumous album released by Sony, sold 85,000 copies in its first week alone, reached number 3 on the Billboard 200. However, a fan named as Vera Sarova, oh, it almost looked like it was backwards for a second there. It was like a palindrome type of name.
backwards,
I was like, okay, well, that seems like a fake name.
Right.
So if we talking about fake songs, who better than... Anyway.
Then the fake name. Yeah.
Vera Sarova, in court documents, brought a class action lawsuit against Sony Music, the Jackson Estate, and Eddie Cascio, a Jackson collaborator, is said to have sold the songs in question to Sony in 2014. Sarova said to have employed the services of a forensic audiologist to
Yeah.
compare Jackson's voice to those on the recording.
Right.
And the audiologist,
Polyoxide.
concluded that the voice very likely did not belong to Michael Jackson. Quote, In the U.S. court this week, Sony attempted to persuade a judge that it should not be a defendant in a lawsuit over the songs. The label hypothesized that even if Jackson wasn't the main singer on the disputed songs in question, it would not mean that it had no rights to still sell the music under his name.
Which is weird.
Yes. Media reports then emerged saying that Sony had conceded the songs were faked, but the record company is now denying this is the case. Speaking to Variety, they said no one has conceded that Michael Jackson did not sing on the songs. And it continues from there. I think we got enough of the takeaway from there.
Right.
So, your thoughts?
It's one of those things where...
I really got this chain on.
yeah. It's one of those things where in the back of your mind, you always see it. You always... not even in the back of your mind. It might be in the back of your mind behind a locked door on a shelf. That it could possibly happen. Because one, what we can do with audio manipulation and audio editing now is insane.
Yeah.
But also the fact that every voice is pretty unique. But there's a lot of people that can get damn close.
Yeah.
And... damn close.
The Weeknd.
Right, yeah, exactly. Damn close, along with what we can do with audio manipulation and audio editing and mixing and everything, can give you something that pretty much, to a normal person, would be spot on to what Michael Jackson would sound like, or any other artist for that matter.
Yeah.
There's very few that would be outside that realm of possibility of somebody getting sonically to that place. So it's kind of one of those things where you're surprised it hadn't happened earlier. Mm-hmm. Even when he was alive, somebody trying to like put out some shit and like, that's Michael Jackson. And Michael's like, that's not me. Like, no, that wasn't me. Like, that's not my song. So,
you're not gonna stop accusing me of shit.
Right, exactly. So that's really the interesting thing about it. I think more so is the fact that the fact that we haven't seen this before really at this level, I guess. And then two, the wording along the lines that Sony said about the whole thing of, even if it isn't him, we could still put it out as him. It's like,
so just because you're not hearing him doesn't mean that he's not on the song. Or it's like, hold on, the actual words, because the way it was very interesting how they worded that.
Yeah, they worded it they were dancing around that fire.
They really did. Yeah, it was pretty much a dance because the quote, shit, I just had it. Yeah, because it's, okay, the label hypothesized that even if Jackson wasn't the main singer on the disputed songs in question, it would not mean that it had no rights to still sell the music under his name. So it came across more like, hey, even if he wasn't completely in there, we could still sell the song. Right. I was like, you're diverting the purpose or the focus of what we were talking about here.
Yeah.
Is it him or is it him?
Yeah. The dispute is that you're selling it as him and it's not him. And then you just told me, even if it's not him, we can still do it. Like, no, that's the reason why we're here. You just admitted to the reason why we're here.
He might be on there a fourth of a bit.
Right. Like, what are you getting at? Like,
so just because we got 25% Michael Jackson.
Right. Yeah, we got a little.
Of course, we're gonna sell it 100%.
We got a dash of Michael.
I mean, look at Tropicana. They sometimes like the orange juice is like 25% juice.
Right, and it's not. It's like, look, first, that light went off.
It really did.
That was weird. Here's the thing. We're not talking about a person singing like we're cutting drugs. Like, that's not the way shit works. Like,
Blue Magic. Yeah, that's my stance. That's a name brand like Coke or Pepsi.
Or Michael Jackson. That's a brand name. So that was really the weirdest part about this. And it's one of those things where legally they may be in the right saying it and wording it that way, but it's one of those things where your immediate rebuttal could be, don't be a dick. And that's it. That may not be the legal that may not be the legal term to use in court, but it'd be like, Your Honor, he's being a dick. Like, and that's it. So it's ridiculous. Like, I hope, and the thing is, to me, if that's the standing and where they are mentally, the way they feel about the situation, that means they really don't care about doing this either again, if it is true that it's not Michael, or doing it across a wide swath of different artists.
Yeah.
I mean,
this might be the next step.
We had holograms now. We're just going to fucking
Thank
replace
you.
them.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And I'm looking.
It's weird.
They really did just pull a fucking blue magic. Nikki Barnes. There we go. They really pulled a Nikki Barnes.
Yeah,
yeah. Just.
And it's, God, it's one of those things where it's like you can literally take. I mean, they've done it with movies. They did it with. You can take people's vocals.
Yeah.
Like even if they're saying different shit, and you can make them like you can. A computer
they do that a lot with reality shows.
Yeah, a computer can spit out.
And you see Marvel, how they are able to de-age a lot of actors and stuff.
You can do that. They did that creepy thing with Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. They did it with, of course, with Tony Stark in that one part.
Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym.
Yeah, they did it with, they did the voice thing and the overlay thing with Paul Walker in Fast and the Furious. Because it was his brother, which made it easier because he already kind of looked like him, but then they overlaid him with his words that were fucking just the computer spit them out and they sound exactly what they're supposed to. It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah,
the stuff that you can do to audio, that's why it's super interesting. That's why
at one point will we still need actors?
Right.
After a while.
Robot. Yeah, I mean, yeah. God, that would be actually pretty nice. You don't have to block real actors. You can just be like, hey, we're on set. Nobody to bitch at me. No egos. Robot actor, go over there and you need to look like this. And it just like, it does like, Detroit Become Human.
Oh, wait.
Like
what
Detroit,
they could do?
Like the hair changes. And
maybe.
Like the face.
What you could do is sell the rights to your face for a movie.
Oh, man. You could rack up money then. You could do like 3 movies in the same day. Like, I got to actually go shoot this movie, but I will do those 2.
Right. You can sit there and just, send a picture of your face forward profile, 3/4, and or also the back of your head, I would guess, too.
Yeah.
And then, boom, you could sit there and be in any fucking movie you wanted.
Then we're getting into, like, some turn.
But then again, you could also, but then also they could probably frame you for shit, too.
Oh, yeah.
You can manufacture movies of you robbing a bank, or, robbing a bank, or
kicking
kittens, or...
That's when the smart people come in. That's when the smart people, they figure out ways to hack it. Yeah. But no, then we'd have to get to the Turing test level first because you have to have some kind of like robotic that would be able to fool.
Yeah.
Or be able to, I don't like saying fool.
Or maybe even, or without even going as far as robots, just visually, just.
Well, that's the thing. You can do it. We're pretty much at that level where visual effects, you can pretty much completely create somebody.
Yeah.
Over a. You still have to have the rigging side of it, so you still have to kind of have like somebody in like a green screen suit or in a mocap suit, and then you can fucking go from there.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten to the point where you can just
manipulate actual, just straight up full video.
I can't say that because you can. It's just on the back end, it's fucking heavy on the rendering side because, for instance, one of my favorite visual effects people and one of my favorite directors and his like whole crew in general is Blomkamp's. Philip Blomkamp, the guy that did District 9 and shit.
Yeah.
He did... God, what the fuck was that? They use Unity, which is a free... Like the baseline, it's a free 3D visual effects and game creation and fucking you can do anything with Unity program. And they made a really crazy like short film about this robot. And there's a lot of like real, I guess you could say, quote unquote, there's like live action. It's basically as close to the line of live action as you can. Like, it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like animated. But it took like, they talked about like the computers and shit they had to use to make it was like insane. But yeah, we're almost at that level. Like where we can just create a person out of scratch. Now, then you got to put them into like real situation. That's the interesting thing. But then when you've got some people running around like Tom Cruise who still wants to do his stunts and shit, why do you?
Yeah.
There's no point even doing that. It's probably it's probably even still to do it the other way, to have a real actor than employing all these people to create all this shit.
It's cheaper to have a real person kill themselves.
Yeah, than a fake person created from scratch.
Yeah.
Because then you got to employ, instead of employing one actor, then you have to employ like a whole fucking like 200-person visual effects studio to create like one person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
It's nuts.
With that being said, the main takeaway from there, your voice and your face are not safe.
Yeah, as much stuff as we've said on this podcast, we could be like manifested out of nothing. And
it's a little brighter than I anticipated. I got to put that back on.
All right. So, with
Now,
that being said, welcome to the future. This episode of Black Mirror
has been brought to you by Blue Magic.
That's funny.
It's a lot of colors going on here.
Oh, just so everybody knows, Brent said, "What's up to everybody?" He said he went to the Universal Soul Circus and it was dope. So that's his message to the crowd.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. I saw his he posted, and it was like a bunch of people on stage, and I was like, "Is he at a fucking circus?" Because it said like 7 minutes ago. I was like, wait, that was like right after I asked you what time we were recording. And then he posted that, and I was like, well, he's not going to make it. I was like, he's at a circus. So, yeah, so he says what's up. But, yeah, so we're getting into, of course, our main topic.
We may need a review from him on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He said it's dope, but we'll definitely get more details on him next time. The funny thing is I was thinking about before this episode started is this has become the structure of the show, is that we go from, like, our crazy weeks to, like, pop culture to always ends on music reviews.
Hopefully.
Which it works.
Yeah.
I like it.
Or some type of review or whatever it is.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Or, yeah. Oh.
I've got some catching up to do, man. I still haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, it's still... And I still haven't seen Batman... I said Batman vs. Superman. I still haven't seen Justice League. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see it.
But
I loved Wonder Woman, but I know Wonder Woman was like up here compared
to the rest of the catalog.
Yeah. Wonder Woman was great. That's gonna be interesting to see how they pull off that next one.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, especially
set in the 80s.
Yeah,
and everybody's I don't understand what they're doing.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
we'll know soon enough.
Oh, before we get in the music, I just thought about this. I don't know if you saw just a quick thing. If you saw that. They asked the director of Venom, and they also asked Tom Hardy, and neither one of them know if it's going to be PG-13 or rated R. So it's still up in the air. Which one do you lean in? That's the only thing I wanted to ask you that on the show. What do you prefer?
That depends on what did they envision from the get-go. Typically, yeah.
Oh, you mean like what? Oh, what
where
rating?
were they? Yeah, like you would think you said the director was clueless about this?
The director and Tom Hardy both said they don't know if it's going to come out on the back end rated PG-13 or rated R. I mean, to me, that tells me that that means because that doesn't tell me that that it was a mainly PG-13 and they think some stuff might push it. That tells me that they clearly shot stuff that they would be like, this is going to get flagged as R. And they're going to see, and they don't know if it's going to make it through the cut. That's what that tells me. But the fact that the director doesn't even know,
right,
is the biggest thing.
It almost
Tom
seems like
Hardy, I can understand.
Yeah, it's almost like him looking back on. I was like, wait, what the fuck did I do?
Right? Yeah, exactly. He's like,
wait, I did what now?
He said there was some crazy shit in there, but I don't know if that's going to be in the final cut. Like, what do you mean? Like, normally the director is involved in the edit in some respect.
You would think, yeah.
And that's like you go through that part, the director and usually the editor, usually on that back end part, normally pretty hand in hand, and then it gets sent to the the fucking ratings. I forgot what they're called.
MPAA?
Yeah, it gets sent to them, and then they have to decide like where it's at.
Yeah. So,
but that tells me that there has to be stuff on the line.
Yeah, and that also comes across a little bit like some miscommunication or a lack of vision.
Or it's at the rating thing right now, and they haven't got the news back yet at the time of that interview.
I mean, yeah, we may be actually looking further into this than we need to.
Yeah.
It could just be like they are just only waiting on word from the MPAA as opposed to, oh, it's out of our hands.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. But that does to me say that they shot stuff in there that would be like right on the line then.
Okay.
It has to be. Because the thing is, if they shot a bunch of stuff that was like clearly R, like if Venom's ripping people to shreds every 5 minutes, and they would have no reason to say that unless they were just saying it just to say it.
Yeah.
Just to throw people off.
Right. Oh, originally, like the Meg, that movie with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, nice.
That was apparently supposed to be rated R.
Oh really?
But they had to do a whole lot of they were pretty much pulling punches, and it ended up being PG-13, and a lot of folks were upset about that. And it was like they feel like they could tell from watching it. I've yet to. I was probably gonna wait till it was like
It's
Netflix
probably like
for real.
cutaways. Probably like we talked about. Remember the whole thing we talked about how they could pull off a Venom, like
Yeah.
you see like him like sneer, like growl, whatever, growl, or like open his mouth and then it cuts away.
And that's the thing about a shark that's the size of a school bus.
Yeah. I mean, not
One
even
person
bigger than that.
would be right.
I mean, Meg was like
Well,
100 and something.
megalodons were about the size of a school bus, give or take.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
And a human would just be,
I mean, you'd be almost like one bite.
if that.
Yeah, I mean,
You could probably get swallowed whole, for real.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
So
I'm like,
that was-
what? How much graphic stuff were they doing? They feel like they were doing it just for the fuck of it.
And I was like, well, how much, what are the stakes if you're just go.
Right? Yeah, exactly. A cartoonish gulp, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Or a Family Guy's Jaws,
Yeah.
where Bruce has the voice.
Oh, yeah.
Dana, 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 dana. I'm just gonna eat you up.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Num, 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 num. Yeah. Num, 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 num. That'd be great. Just a big giant shark and that big stupid fucking voiceover. Num, 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 num. Jason Statham's like screaming at it and it just like sounds like
Parker. Num, 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 num. Parker. Yummy. It's like, what the fuck am I watching?
like, this is weird. Oh, God. I need that. That's fucking awesome.
Jesus, let's get this album out the way, man.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so the third album from Sudanese New Yorker.
I thought he was from New York.
He's based in New York. He was
Yeah.
born in Paris.
Okay.
Sudanese American rapper by the name of Baz.
Yeah.
Signed to J. Cole's Dreamville Records.
Mm-hmm.
This is his third album by the name of Milky Way.
Now, was he the first one to get signed?
Most likely, that is the only name. Oh, JID.
Yeah, there's that one guy from Atlanta. I think from Atlanta, the small guy with the dreads.
Okay. Oh, well, actually, as far as the members of Dreamville go, I was actually trying to pull that up now. Omen has been affiliated with Dreamville since the beginning. Omen and Cole met on Rapper. Okay, so the label was started his own record label in early 2007.
Okay.
And Omen was is one of the rappers. And there we go, roster, much easier. Omen from 2009 was the first one. Baz was second.
Okay.
2014, same year. Kaz, C-O-Z-Z. 2015, Loot and Ari Lennox.
Okay.
2017, JID, as we mentioned, and Earth Gang.
Maybe Kaz is the one I'm thinking of.
From Atlanta?
Yeah. Is that
Kaz is from California.
Okay, it's not him then. That picture's
Yeah,
up
because the best way to remember is almost like Cuz.
because it makes sense.
JID, I want to say, yes, JID is from Atlanta.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Of.
The
Because I always call him
Ed,
Jid.
that song Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, because I always called him Jid. Just because I was just like, it's Jid. All right, nice.
All right, so back to the lecture at hand. Milky Way,
Baz.
that came out as of this year. Baz's third album.
Let me get my list.
And let's see, there are 14 tracks on this album. Well, 14 tracks. 2 of the tracks are skits.
Yep.
Or just some audio from movies.
Yeah.
And let's see. Production from Ron Gilmore, Childish Major, Sango, obviously J. Cole.
Yep.
And do you want to go through this track by track first?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, then. So the first track, Icarus, featuring Ari Lennox.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that Matrix line. It was like, I got 2 blue pills.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Front Desk was kind of funny. I ain't front desk, bitch. You ain't got to check in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why I was having trouble figuring out that's what he was saying until I looked at the title of the song, because a lot of times I just play it and
just hear
and just ignore and we'll look at anything else.
Absolutely.
And just listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I listened to the song. It was now I read it. Oh, it's Front Desk. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And Tribe. I'm guessing technically the first single.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Sure
Now
does.
my one gripe
Yeah.
about Tribe.
Okay.
the percussion sounds a awful lot
Okay.
like ATM.
Okay. I can hear that. Yeah.
If you
I can hear
like
that,
the drum
yeah.
beat, the drum pattern, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna add a little space to play them back to back on the audio,
Okay. Okay.
and we'll go from there.
All right.
So, you tell me.
Now this was the funny thing because this was the first song I heard off this because I watched the video. It was the first thing I learned. It was the first time I had seen Boss, like seen him. So I was like, okay. I was like, if this, that's when you sent the album to everyone, and then I was like, I'm really excited for it because I told my buddy as soon as I heard that song and watched that video,
Yeah.
I was like, if the album sounds like this, it's gonna fucking be next level for me. Because the thing that carries through, especially like with Tribe and going through, I can't remember the last time I've listened to a hip hop album, and I mean like a hip hop album, that has made me want to hit the dance floor on almost every fucking song. It has that very, I mean, it's obviously got that very like that injected Sudanese, that
African,
yeah,
yeah,
that
African
African
sound.
drum, like it has that rhythm to it that pulses throughout pretty much the whole fucking thing almost. And that's one of the reasons why, of course, like I've said 1,000 times, production. And that was the funny thing about listening to this. The first time I listened to it, I was just walking around the house playing it through the phone speakers.
Yeah.
So I was getting hints of just like, I could only hear like obviously top level because it's, unless you have headphones in, you don't hear any of the low end. So I was hearing like clearly like the samples and like kind of your higher, the snares and stuff. So I was hearing those drums and I was like, ooh, like, cause even like on the next one on Boca Raton, I remember when I
Yes.
first heard the sample, anytime I see A$AP Ferg, I'm like,
Yes,
I'm on board.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
I'm on board.
This is Boca
I'm
Raton is easily my favorite song on
yeah,
this album.
it's fucking. But when that sample came in, like,
Yeah.
and it was like that little, yeah. I was like, okay, and then like I remember I was like sitting there listening to it, and I was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, dry, and the beat came, and I was like, yep.
But the thing is, it's even funnier because of that 1,
Got it.
2, 3 drop. It
Yeah.
was funny because I was as I said, I was as oblivious to the track list.
Yeah.
And just listening to Boca Raton, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I can't be your number 1, but I could be the 2 to 3 now. And then on the background, just all of a sudden here,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, it's Ferg.
Yeah, that was exactly.
I got hyped, and I was like, yeah. It's like,
Yep.
it was hilarious.
Yep.
'Cause
Anytime I get those the Ferg call outs like come through, I'm like,
yeah,
yep.
it was like it was the equivalent to
Yeah.
hearing the glass break.
Oh yeah.
And Stone Cold
Yeah,
comes out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
I'm out
It's
in
like
Boca Raton.
I love surprises.
Yeah,
This is like,
absolutely.
surprise verses.
That was great. Like, and I love Tribe, and I think it has an excellent feel to it.
Yeah.
And it's like the hook. It's like a very like uplifting kind of song. And then you go into Boca Raton, and you're like, okay, like fuck.
Yeah.
But then you
They
go
both
in-
got this. Yeah, they both had that. Well, I was gonna say island vibe, but it's really
Yeah.
more African.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
it.
And then you go into Barack Obama special, which is good. Like, I
it's-
like that one too.
It's okay.
'Cause
It
it-
comes across. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it kind of it lets you down off that hill. So like,
There's a little bit of a dip.
yeah. So like, not in like a negative way. Like basically, Tribe. Like you're on the dance floor and you're like, hey, Boca Raton. You jump on the speakers. And then, like, Barack Obama special, they're like, all right, you got to get down. And then they get you down, but you're still on the dance floor. Like, okay, I'm good. Let me catch my breath. I might go get a water or something real quick. But I'm still liking what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What my issue with Barack Obama special?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like either a sequel or a reprise of J. Cole's Neighbors.
Okay, yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's like
I mean, he straight
immediately
up-
when he first started talking
Yeah.
about, like, the theme, I was like, yeah, I looked and I was like, hey, this is just like Neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, this is-
Your label mate.
Yeah,
It was like,
absolutely, yeah.
you could have maybe held off on this song, maybe like
Right.
or had this out before J. Cole's.
right, yeah.
So it'd be, it's.
And it's one of those things where they're different enough where they're not like each other, but they're similar enough where you can see the reason why J. Cole would have wanted to sign him in the first place.
Yeah.
Then we go into Purge, which I like.
That's all right.
Good. Fragrance.
I liked
Like
Fragrance.
Fragrance. Infinity, and then Infinity +2.
Yeah. It was decent. It was good.
Snafu. Oh yeah,
Snafu.
I
That
saw
was
the
also.
snafu at first, but it's, like I kept calling
I see it too. I see why you.
I called it snafu like for like the first couple of days.
I can see why. I can see why. It was also that weird shift because it went from like a roller coaster in a sense. This kind of felt a lot like a roller coaster. So we went from down here, and then we got back up to the shake, dancing music.
And then
Great Ones.
Great Ones.
I am drawing a blank on that one for some reason.
That was the one that was God damn it.
Oh, that's another skit.
Yeah.
Or that is the second skit.
Yeah, that's the boxer one.
Yeah.
And then PDA, which I think does it stand for public drug abuse?
I thought it was public display of affection, where he was talking about, I want to be the one, with this girl. Or
see, I thought about that, but then like I was wondering if it had a second meaning thing, so I was trying to find out other meanings for PDA.
You go on Genius.com or some shit?
No, I was just like fucking doing dumb shit in my head. Designer, which I really like.
That's my second
Absolutely.
favorite. That's my second favorite song.
And then I think Rockets is a good way out of here. What do you got?
Okay, back to Designer.
Yeah,
that's my second favorite song on here.
Yeah.
However,
there's a lot of people.
I really enjoy the production, and he sounded a bit like Wale on Designer.
Oh, absolutely. That was what I was, because a lot of times, because I had a few like things, I guess, kind of like takeaways from this album. One, I haven't been this, I guess, felt, because it's not, he doesn't really have anything, like he's got really good lyrics and he's solid, but he doesn't have anything. It's not like the first time you listened to like Lupe and you were like rewinding shit like, what the fuck did he just say? But I have a similar feeling to listening to this album, and really this is the first time I've taken in a large quantity of Boz's work. Same way I felt when I first heard like Chillin' Circuit by Little Brother. I was like, this is my wavelength type thing. Like, I like what we're doing here. I like what he's doing. I like his style. I like his style. Seems like what he likes in production.
Yeah.
Which obviously comes from his literal background. You can feel that African vibe bleed through the whole thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was so high on it.
Okay.
Because that was the main thing I kept like thinking about, comparing it to like the last time I'd really like listened to an album, the first time I'd really heard an artist. And I could honestly, speaking of Wale, listening to Attention Deficit by Wale, that was a similar feeling where I'm like, okay, like if this is what this guy is, I'm fucking on board.
Right.
And that's why it's been hard with Wale, because nothing's really been like Attention Deficit Disorder. He's kind of gone away from that really classic, like big band fucking go-go DC sound that he had on that, to kind of go a little bit different direction.
Yeah.
Which is why Attention Deficit is still 100% my favorite one. Like, I can play that damn thing front to back. I'm almost the same way I can pretty much play this front. Like, every time I play it, at least from, and this has just kind of been my natural go with this, because I probably listened to this album 5 or 6 times, like all the way through. But it seems like recently what I do is I start with Tribe.
Yeah.
And then it just, do your thing. You can have it. Take it from here, boss.
Yeah.
And it works perfect, especially from Tribe on through to like fucking Purge.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, whoo. Because, I mean, like we said, Boca Raton, and for me, Barack Obama special, I like, but like you said, it is very similar. Purge. But yeah, I definitely agree and echo your sentiment that Designer, he definitely, in cadence and in delivery, sounds very similar to Wale at times.
Specifically on Designer.
Yeah.
That was the biggest.
Yeah.
As far as the rest
absolutely.
of the album, I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But for Designer specifically, he came across sounding like Wale.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, Spaceships and Rockets, I was a little disappointed because I've already heard the song.
See, that's what my guy I work with said. It was the first song he heard, and I was like, I had never heard it before.
I've already heard the song, but it was from Lion Babe. It was originally her song.
Oh, okay.
And it was just called Rockets.
Okay.
And this version, Spaceships and Rockets, it still goes along with the hook, is from the original song.
Yeah.
They just added a African beat to it.
Yeah.
And that rubbed me the wrong way, because it kind of felt like it was 2 songs
merged
going.
in one.
It felt like 2 songs playing at once.
Okay. Yeah. That's
and that
weird.
kind of, it kind of fuck with me a little bit, just because like I'm hearing the other song, and I'm hearing this song, and just I see where they kind of took stuff out to where they can mesh it together.
Yeah.
But it still sounds like
there's still some clash in there.
There's still a little bit of a clash to
That's
it.
interesting.
The dude Momox, he sounded like an island version of Chief Keef.
Yeah.
He sounded like that even on the original version, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. That's all I wanted to add as far as with Mo.
That's good.
So my takeaway with this album, this is the first time I've come across listening to a full-length project from Boz.
Absolutely.
And coming away from this, I am having difficulty finding or knowing his identity.
Okay.
In a sense.
Understand.
Like I can like it's one of those folks like you first meet somebody. It's like, yeah, they cool.
Yeah.
As far as inviting them over to the house, maybe see them a couple of times more before I make that decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need you to check in before you sit there and just bring him along.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm having trouble getting a full sense of who Boz is because a lot of the tracks, there were some issues there were some identity issues. It seems like it was like a few times. It's like, oh, well, I just mentioned Designer, where he came across like Wale.
Yeah.
With Tribe, as far as him and J. Cole just kind of being or like as far as verse for verse, in the exact same
the rhythm,
cadence and
the
rhythm
rhythm,
and all that.
They changed pace at the same bar. I mean, it was like, they wrote that to be uniform as fuck.
Yes, and Boca Raton, he was right there with Ferg. He's kind of come across like that friend that is cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Almost because they're almost not necessarily mimicking them.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid the word "not," but there we go. Almost to the point of mimicking the people that they are interacting with.
It's a chameleon.
Yeah, in a sense. And I just have that lack of feeling like, okay, well, what makes this person stand out?
Right. Gotcha.
And
maybe that's
if
why
there
I
was
like
a little
it
bit
so
more,
much.
maybe
because
if there was a little bit more,
because I'm like, this is familiar. I feel safe here.
Before I found out he was Sudanese,
yeah.
Hearing the African beats, I thought he was just going with the trend of, oh, okay, well, we want African dance music along with the rap. And I was like, well, hold on, this is a part of his culture still, too, in a sense.
Yeah.
If there were more of those, if there were just a few more than 3 off the top of my head, hold on. Tribe kind of counts. Boca Raton kind of counts.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Sanufa, obviously.
Yeah.
Spaceships and Rockets to an extent.
Rockets,
counts.
they tried to merge it in there.
Yeah. Now, if there was a little bit more of that, a little bit more African beat shit, then I could sit there and kind of get an idea, a better understanding of, okay, yeah, he's bringing his culture in here. He's merging it, he's merging his culture with the American culture. Yeah. As far as like, this is what raised me. This is like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what makes me more unique. If there was more of that, I'd be rocking with it.
Yeah.
Or if he had more to say on shit such as Front Desk or Icarus was the most introspective I've heard from him in this album.
That makes sense, yeah.
But it only went so far.
Yeah, and it's the first song.
Yes.
So then you have to listen to the rest and see where you're at then.
Yeah.
I think me seeing literally the first thing I ever heard of him was watching that video.
Yeah.
I think that helped me at least because literally.
Is that your first song of that you've heard of Boz's?
Unless I've accidentally heard anything else, I think so. To be honest,
the very first song I remember listening to was "Lit," which was also featuring J. Cole.
Okay.
And they sampled "Do You Like Drugs" by Miguel.
Oh. Nice.
That is a dope fucking sample. The way they did it and the way they implemented it in there.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance, listen to it.
I'll check it out.
That was my first introduction to Boz, and I was like, oh, okay, well, shit.
Yeah,
well, I can't wait to hear more from him.
Yeah.
I think I've heard maybe 2 or 3 more songs. He's had, obviously, this is his 3rd album, so he's had some shit before that were between then. Mm-hmm. But I'm still left wondering who Boz is.
Yeah. Which I think I guess visually and stuff that helped me with the kind of like his cultural injection side of it because I saw that video first.
Right.
And that video is like fucking injected with.
I just found out there's a video for Boca Raton.
Oh, yes.
Best believe I'm watching that shit as soon as this episode's over.
Yeah, absolutely. But Boca Raton's so good. So I think that helped me. Like literally, here's this new artist. See him and experience his sound and visually experience him all in the first dose. I think that helped me kind of like see like at least where he's at. Now, of course, sonically there are some similar. You can hear some similarities to other artists, like we said, J. Cole. They're kind of mirroring cadence and everything and rhythm on Tribe, and then of course on Designer, the Wale similarity type thing.
Yeah.
So, what do you give it?
I am going to give Milky Way a silver.
Okay, cool.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
I just have issues with. I just feel like I want to know more about this dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm trying to hear more about this dude. I'm
Right.
trying to like the production is very solid all the way through.
It is.
It's just lyrically, as far as a theme goes, like titling it Milky Way. I could probably read why.
Yeah, and
it's
there was
called Milky
there
Way.
was one like reference to it in that one skit where the guy's talking about it.
The Great Ones, the Great Ones skit.
Is that the boxer one?
Yes.
It's not the boxer one. It's the one where those it's like two guys are talking. It's like Young Blood. He's like you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, the two skits is one from White Men Can't Jump, and the other
right.
one was from the boxing movie.
Right.
but
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Where
before
he talks
I guess
about
it was
the-
before Barack Obama special.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because
Was
he
it?
starts off. Yeah, it is. It's right before that because he talks about he's like something like Young Blood. You can go from here to the Milky Way or something along
Okay.
those lines.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it gold.
Okay.
Because the production got me, of course. But I do echo that sentiment that when he's never not doing well lyrically, but there are times where it just blends
Yeah.
perfectly in. Not in a bad way, but it's not standing out.
Correct.
It's perfectly there. It's not getting in the way of the beat, and the beat's not getting in the way of him. He's a rapper.
Present. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rapping. He's a rapping. And that's fucking fine. But I think we do need another boost. If he stay like the production, like we said, production choices, keeping his cultural sound injected is perfect.
Yes.
Now let's see if we can go to the next one and get more from his lyrics.
Yeah.
And more from not only his lyrics, but I would honestly like to see him do something like his label head, J. Cole, and nobody's allowed in here except for me.
Right.
Let me fucking clear some shit up real quick.
Okay.
And then go from there. Yeah. And then we'll see, like, on your own, with your personality, who you are, and your culture, who is boss. And then we'll see. That's what I would like him to do next. We'll see if that happens.
Right.
But I do from J. Cole and his own kind of strategic standpoint, I do understand the thing of on your big single, or really your two big singles, A$AP Ferg and J. Cole being right there along with you to be like, hey, you heard this new song that J. Cole's on? Or hey, you heard this new song that A$AP Ferg's on? Hey, this Boss guy's pretty good too. I mean, come on. Like, that's smart. That's pretty good marketing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And most people who are, and not even just the J. Cole stans, which of course there are, I think people will trust J. Cole's
Would
judgment.
they be dreamers?
Ah, that's good. I like that. I think people will generally trust J. Cole's judgment and be like, okay, this is from J. Cole's label. I'm going to check this guy out type thing.
Right.
The lights are fading.
I thought that. That might be symbolism. That might be symbolism.
The lights are dimming.
With
So,
that
with that
said,
being said, the gold and the silver on Boston album. If you get a chance, check it out. Just let us know what you think. I am very interested to see what we get from the rest of, going forward with the rest of Dreamville's kind of label. And just what we get from J. Cole going forward, because he's been pretty solid as far as like since the old days, the short hair days, pre-dreadlock days. Which I didn't know if you'd heard it, but did you hear the song that he put out over the, God, what the fuck is that beat? It's got that, He just put it out. It's just like a random song in a video.
Yeah, it was kind of, for lack of better words, a freestyle.
Yeah, he's just like walking around.
I've heard the song.
Okay.
The video has been unwatched.
Yeah,
I
videos.
was unaware
It was
of the
pretty
video,
simple. It
so.
was good, but
Fuck, what was the
I can't think of what the fuck
Uchiwali.
Yeah, Uchiwali.
It was over Uchiwali.
Yeah. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, check out this album if you get a chance. Let us know what you think. Also, let us know if there's any other albums or anything that you're listening to that has really stood out that you want us to check out as well. And then also let us know what you think about Sony making Robot Michael Jackson sing for the people. Of course, you can always drop us a line at oafdiscussions@gmail.com, at oafdiscussions on Twitter, and of course, facebook.com/group/oafdiscussions. I am at K and Kid Swift. Brent is at LLCoolB22. Shayna is at ShaynaMB on both Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, you've changed your Instagram?
Oh, sorry. My Instagram is at future_ASC. Sorry. What do you got?
Web859 on Twitter, web.859 on Instagram. You will notice that I have been a little bit absent from there on account of the meditating and the affirmation and trying to get my mind together. And is this, that helps clear the clutter in my head.
Absolutely.
The most you will see me on social media if I get on there. I've actually gotten so far as to set a fucking timer.
Nice.
As soon as that timer goes off, log the fuck off.
Get out there.
Get out. So catch me when you can.
Cool. Sounds good, guys. As always, we appreciate you listening. Appreciate you checking us out, hanging out with us each and every week. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Oath Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. Oath Discussions pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the @big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.